everybody. How are you all doing, my beautiful people? So it has been a busy, crazy day for me, kind of doing this and that, like all kinds of things. But I didn't forget about you. I just got home from some client appointments, and then I have a training I have to go run right after this, but I wanted to jump on for a few minutes and just talk a little bit about self-pleasure, since it is Masturbation Month. Yep, May is Masturbation Month. And I thought, what a better place to do a talk about self-pleasure than my bed. I don't tend to do lives in here, but welcome to my bedroom. So anyway, like I said, I was kind of running here, there, and everywhere. And right now I have a lot of, first of all, it is Masturbation Month. And then I have a lot of female clients and male clients right now that have a ton of questions about self-pleasure. And I think you can find coaches that and people who teach on sex, they have very kind of polarizing views of masturbation. They're either totally for it or they're totally against it. And I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. On that, because I think there are good elements. There are, I don't want to call them bad elements, but yeah, bad elements. Like, let's be real. And then I think there is pointless elements to masturbation. So let's start with the negative, because then we'll move up to the high vibe, good reasons to masturbate. So I think a lot of people will go into masturbation thinking, oh, okay, well, first of all, like, let me use these fantasies, let me use all these desires, let me like get into my head and like create this like picture in my brain. And that is actually really disconnecting. That's really disconnecting from our bodies. And so when we go into self-pleasure and we consistently, it's one thing if every once in a while we're playing with that, but if we are consistently going to fantasy, what ends up happening is we disconnect from ourselves. We disconnect from our own sensation in our bodies during the masturbation process. And so I think the same thing happens with porn. I think when you step into any level of fantasy, whether that fantasy is completely in your brain or that fantasy is being viewed on a screen, which I actually think from a neurological level, you're doing more damage even with the fantasy on the screen, because you are literally changing your brain waves. You're literally changing your brain every time you watch porn and you masturbate. I want you to think about your brain like you are building like gullies in it. So every time you send a signal in your brain of porn, masturbation, you are actually connecting to that person on the screen. You are disconnecting from your body, and you're sending your body into a pattern. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I get on the lives and my nose gets itchy. I don't know what the deal is. But you're sending signals to your brain that you don't need to connect with your own body during sex, and that actually you're releasing oxytocin in your brain every time you have a climax to connect you with that person on the screen. And so at that level, it isn't positive to masturbate. You are actually disconnecting from self. You are disconnecting from any potential sex you are having with a partner. And on that same note, on like the disconnection, you are also getting, it's not even the disconnection, you're getting used to your hand. You're getting used to a toy. And I'm not going to get into vibrators and why I hate vibrators. I think they are way overused, and I think we have become a society that just wants like that quick get off. And I think vibrators have actually done a ton of damage to our sexuality over time. I think here and there, they're fine. Like, they can be fun, they can be playful, especially if you're playing with them in different areas. You're not going straight for the clit if you're a woman, or even a guy playing with, if you're going straight for your genitals, then I think you can numb out and create almost a pattern. And the same thing when you are using a hand or even just like a regular toy. If that is your consistency, then you are building a habit and your body gets used to that habit. So if you are somebody who masturbates every single day and you are consistently doing the same thing every single time, and then you get with a partner and you're like, why can't I feel? Why don't I feel my woman? Why does her body not do the same thing as my hand? Well, first of all, I don't care what woman you got. Well, there are like 1 or 2 women that I'm like, wow, like that's some vaginal health right there. Like there is a woman, Kim Anami, and she can like weight lift. Like, I think it is like massive amounts of weight. It's like 50 pounds or something. I don't know the exact statistics, but it's absolutely crazy. So we're not talking about those few women. But the truth is, even if a woman is doing her vaginal work and is doing the vaginal weightlifting and working with the yoni egg and really building up her muscles, the fact is she's still not going to do the same thing as your hand. You get used to a specific way. And the same thing as ladies, we get used to being in the masculine role and doing it exactly this way or exactly that way, or using this toy that has these ribbing or whatever you want to use. And what ends up happening is we get ourselves into our own rut. And then we are so climax focused in our culture that to drop into anything else becomes an issue because we don't want to take the time. We don't want to feel into our bodies. And so we end up really disconnecting in our sex and ending up not having those deeper orgasms. And I know I'm staying in the negative. Sorry. We'll move to the positive in a moment. I promise there is a positive. But the other thing, and I'm going to say almost like the pointless of masturbation, is you will never get yourself to the same level you can with a partner. You cannot be both the feminine and the masculine in your own masturbation practice. You cannot surrender and also be in the giving position. Your brain is going to be half focused in on exactly what you're doing instead of like that surrendered state where you get to just like throw your hands back, throw your head back, and just really feel. Close your eyes and like tune into your body. You can't do that when you are the one doing all the work. It's not going to happen. Versus in sex where our partner can really step in and we can allow ourselves to just be in that state of bliss. And so you're not ever going to get the same depth and the same level of learning and exploration of your true sexuality when you are when you're by yourself versus with a partner. And so it's not pointless. I'm not going to say masturbation is pointless or self-pleasure, as I named it because I don't want this video getting taken off of Facebook. It's not pointless, but in that level, if you are trying to find the depths of your orgasmic energy, you're not going to be able to fully do that. There is going to be some point where you really need to find a partner that you can trust and that you can really explore with at that level. You're also not going to experience the different energies. And in truth, I will be perfectly honest, I've seen so many clients over the years, and 90% of them, when they first come into me, will say when they're masturbating, they are totally in fantasy. They're totally in porn. They're with the vibrator. They don't have what I'll consider masturbation hygiene, good health habits when masturbating. So, why do it? Why do it? Well, it feels good. It feels good. We all know this. We all know that masturbation feels good. And it can be so incredibly beautiful to give ourselves that pleasure to touch our breasts, to touch our arms, to touch our genitals, to get to see and experience and taste and know our own bodies. It is a beautiful process. So many of us are shamed as children for not getting to do, for doing just that. And so I can't tell you how many men and women I meet and they know nothing about their own bodies. They don't know what really feels good. Even men I know are like, no, I know it. I know about my cock. I know about my cock. Well, the truth is, most of you actually don't. You don't take the time to really feel, really touch, really explore, get in there and go, okay, but not just like what your genitals feel, but like, okay, like if I like rub on this nipple or like rub over here, and then also I'm doing this and like really explore, that's masturbation. That's true self-pleasure. When you are exploring your entire body, not just going for that quick genital get off, not going straight for the genitals, straight for the high peak. When I am personal share, if I'm going to step into a level of masturbation, I'm going to take my time. And that is like 30, 40 minutes, sometimes an hour, and really just feel into my body, really experience, feel the different sensations that come up in my body, feel the energy. Because when our sexual energy is moving, we get this like rumbling feeling like down in our genitals and pulling it up into our hearts. Or we get this feeling in our hearts and like really like working with that energy and pulling it up and down can be beautiful and can take your masturbation from something that, of course, it's never going to be the same as with a partner, but at least expanding it out so you are at least having deeper orgasms with your masturbation. Now, again, you're going to have to be with a partner to experience kind of the whole gamut. But to really at least kind of begin to know your body. And that is a piece of it, that is the piece of the beautiful, amazing piece of self-pleasure is like you're giving to yourself. You're loving on self. And we don't take a lot of time and truly love on our own bodies and truly nurture them. It is not about the climax. It's not about the get off, guys. True masturbation, where it is like a mindful practice, is connecting with your full body, to connect with your full body, where like you're making yourself almost quiver in energy. It's not even, it's true orgasmic energy. When we are consistently training our bodies to hit the peaks, then we are missing so much. And so it can be a beautiful practice, especially I find this practice for men incredible when they're really taking, masturbation can be wonderful for men when they are used to that quick get off, because they start to realize that all different parts of their bodies feel amazing, and that like there's places on the feet, there's places on the neck, there's places on like the nipples are incredibly orgasmic, like how the jawline can be orgasmic, the shoulder, all of these little elements can expand the orgasm. And men will be like, oh my goodness, like I didn't realize my body could do that. And then women, the same thing, but I think I would add to women getting really comfortable with our bodies, because I think with women, not that men don't have body image issues, because I don't want to say that they don't, because they very much do, but I think women tend to have a little bit more body insecurity. And so touching on your body, treating yourself like a goddess helps you to expect more from yourself and more from the people in your life that you are having sex with. So there are some really beautiful things about masturbation. And so I don't want to hate on masturbation here, because I think it can be an amazing process. And then just feeling that pleasure, feeling that energy, it's always beautiful to feel that pleasure and to connect with our own bodies. We just don't connect with our bodies in general. And so to connect with our sex at a deeper level is sacred and gorgeous. But the key is to actually connect, to actually connect with your body, to actually love on your body, to give yourself time. Just like I would tell somebody in sex that they shouldn't just like go straight for the genitals. Don't go straight for the genitals. Take your time, really explore, really dive deep into loving on self, and then don't expect to be able to get everything from self-pleasure. You can do some beautiful, deep work with self-pleasure, but at some point you are going to have to find a partner to do that connection work with, because bringing a partner in brings a whole different layer to things. And most of you know that, but I do know that there are people who haven't either had sex or spend most of their time masturbating. So finding that partner, really sending that energy out that you are going to find somebody to pull in to have that beautiful orgasmic experience and find that depth at that level is amazing. But we can't be both the man and the woman, and this isn't I don't mean man or woman. We can't be both the masculine and the feminine energy at the same time in our sexing with self, our self-pleasure. So we can't be in our heads doing and also fully experiencing. So try to think about that one. I challenge you today to think on kind of what level are you allowing yourself pleasure? Are you truly disconnecting for your body, or are you allowing yourself to drop in and feel every little moment? Every little moment. Because that is going to also train you to have amazing sex when it does come to having sex with a partner. If you have trained your body to tune into it at every little level, when you go with a partner, it's going to be much more easier. Much more easier. That didn't make sense. It'll be much easier. There we go. I told you, it's been a crazy day. And my brain's a little addled, but anyway. Okay, well, the only thing I really have to announce, actually I have two things. One is free consults until next Tuesday, so get your butt in there. I can do consults via Skype, via phone. There's tons of different ways. Lots of my clients are not here in the DFW area. So if you want to do coaching, this is the time to step in and fill out my application. You can find that at addisonbill.net. If you are in the DFW area, I want to just kind of put a little note that we will be, myself and Kendall Williams on June 22nd, we'll be doing our oral intimacies workshop, which is going to be fantastic. It's going to be just a beautiful experience of learning how oral sex can add so much to the bedroom and just to the relationship in general. How to love it, how to get your partner to love it, so many pieces. You can be single, it's co-ed, so it doesn't matter if you are coming as a couple or if you're coming as a single. Join us. You can find that and the registration on my website. Again, that's June 22nd, so we've got a little while. But it is already filling up, so I would go ahead and get registered for that. And then I think like 2 days later, I have an online course, which I will put more about that on the on my site in the next few days, but that's going to be held from Punta Cana. We're going to be going on a girls trip, and we're going to be doing monetizing badass bosses, and we're going to be talking about play, passion, and profits, because those two things will get you some profits. So join us for that, and all of this again can be found at addisonbill.net. Other than that, I'm going to go eat something and then go do my other training, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Go be fierce and fiery and kick some butt today or the rest of the day. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.